EDWARDO The Horriblest Boy in the Whole Wide World by John Burningham. Eduardo was an ordinary boy. He would get up in the morning, get dressed, have his breakfast, go to school, play games, eat his supper, and go to bed. Sometimes Eduardo would kick things. "You are a rough boy, Eduardo. You are always kicking things. You are the roughest boy in the whole wide world." Eduardo became rougher and rougher. Like most children, Eduardo made a lot of noise. "You are a very noisy boy, Eduardo. You are the noisiest boy in the whole wide world." Eduardo became noisier and noisier. From time to time, Eduardo was nasty to little children. "You are a nasty bully, Eduardo. You are the nastiest boy in the whole wide world." Eduardo became nastier and nastier. Occasionally, Eduardo was not very nice to animals and would chase the cat. "You are a cruel boy, Eduardo, chasing the cat. You are the cruelest boy in the whole wide world." Eduardo became more and more cruel. Eduardo was not always good at keeping his room tidy. Your room gets messier every day, Eduardo. You are the messiest boy in the whole wide world." Eduardo's room became messier and messier. Often, Eduardo would forget to wash his face and brush his teeth in the mornings. "Oh, you are a dirty boy, Eduardo. You are the dirtiest boy in the whole wide world." Eduardo became dirtier and dirtier. And as the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, Eduardo became even clumsier, crueler, noisier, messier, dirtier, nastier, ruder, and rougher, until one day they said, "Eduardo, you really are the horriblest boy in the whole wide world." Then one day, when Eduardo kicked a pot of flowers, it flew through the air and landed on some earth. "I see you are starting a little garden, Eduardo. It looks lovely. You should get some more plants." Eduardo was good at growing things, and he was asked to help people with his gardens. Cruel Eduardo was waiting for the dog with a bucket of water. He threw it over the dogs as it came by. "Oh, thank you so much, Eduardo, for washing my muddy dog for me. You're so good with animals." And so Eduardo was asked to clean and look after everybody's pet. Eduardo's room was getting so untidy that he could not find anything, so he threw everything out of the window. All Eduardo's things landed in a truck that was collecting for poor people. "Thank you, Eduardo, for giving all of your things away." "Look at Eduardo's room. Why can't you all be as neat and tidy as he is?" Eduardo was becoming dirtier and dirtier until one day he became so dirty that flies started to chase him down the road. He jumped in the river to get away from them. A lady pulled Eduardo out of the river and took him back to her house. She gave him a hot bath, washed and ironed all his clothes and sent him back to school. Look, children, look at Eduardo. He's the cleanest and smartest boy in the whole school. One day at school, Nasty and Eduardo pushed little Alec very hard. At that moment, one of the lights in the room crashed down onto the spot where Alec had been standing. You have just saved our little Alec. What a quick-thinking boy you are. You should look after the little ones. And from then on, Eduardo looked after the little children. One day, Eduardo was making more noise than he had ever made before, which frightened some lions who had escaped. They were so frightened by noisy Eduardo that they went back to their cage. You are very good with lions, Eduardo. Perhaps you could come and help me. What's happening? Now, from time to time, Eduardo is a little untidy, cruel, dirty, messy, clumsy, noisy, nasty, and rude. But really, Eduardo is the loveliest boy in the whole wide world.